There was a leak of hydrogen sulfide at a chemical plant in Texas. And just watch this.
But more of what we know so far. So Pemex sent out a recent statement. They kind of gave a timeline. They confirmed that a gas release was reported at one of their operating units at 4:40 p.m. The incident is contained to their site. They said that it has been isolated. They said their primary concerns right now are to ensure the safety of everyone involved and to secure the facility. They also said that they're closely monitoring air quality and are not detecting any off-site impacts. So again, like you said, this turned dangerous for a lot of people. One person reported dead, several others injured, and a massive part of that neighborhood close to Pemex was under shelter-in-place order.
Hydrogen sulfide is poisonous, can cause death, it's flammable, can cause a whole lot of issues. But now apparently they were dealing with a high concentration of hydrogen sulfide because it caused an unfortunate death. What if they didn't contain it? What if they didn't contain it in time and it caused multiple unfortunate deaths?
Here in this general area, a number of businesses, they've closed down. There's a gas station here and a Jack in the Box. They both closed. And again, there is a shelter in place. Now, a few moments ago, we spoke to a man who works nearby. And as you can imagine, if you do this kind of thing for a living, you work at one of these plants, something like this really has to shake you up. Here's what he had to say. Does it concern you when you see something like this happen since you're in the...
Definitely, sir, yes. To be honest, it's scary because since we work around the whole plants and everything, anything could really go off. So it's pretty scary.
My opinion, these plants should be away from population. Now, of course, we know it can still travel in the air, but the fact that, God forbid, if it travels in the air, you may have somewhat of enough time to warn people, hey, get in your homes, turn off your AC, close your windows, etc., etc. At least you may have some time to warn the population. I'm not a scientist. I don't deal with chemicals. This is just my opinion, right? But I mean, of course, and we've seen this happen multiple times. There was one recently in Georgia. I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I mean, you wouldn't even know if this stuff was leaked in the air. You wouldn't even know, because most times, most chemicals, they are odorless. They're colorless. You wouldn't even know. But I don't know. And, of course, they've shown tons of movies where, they had the chemicals in the water. People died from that, and then the other, explosions, other chemical plant explosions. They've made movies on this. But, I mean, of course, nobody intends for accidents to happen like this, right? Nobody intends for chemicals to be released in the air. But how does that happen? Now, I know it probably sounds like a dumb question, like, mistakes happen, people make mistakes. I get that. But when you're dealing with whether it's a high concentration or you're just dealing with a concentration of chemicals and gases, how do these accidents happen? Like how? How can you let it happen? Meaning, yes, if I'm dealing with chemicals, gases, etc., I'm going to make sure this doesn't happen. And I know we can't prevent everything from happening, but that's just my question. Like, if that's just like, I don't know. I think y'all get where I'm going with that, but that's just my question. Now, these are just my opinions, my thoughts. I'm not a scientist. No, I don't know how chemicals work, but I did read up on the hydrogen sulfide and how dangerous it can be, and it is. But yeah, that's just my question. How does this happen? And no disrespect to anybody or the people that work at these plants. No disrespect. But it's just a question of mine. Like, how does this happen? How does a leak happen? Is it due to the maybe old equipment in the facility? Is it, I don't know. That's just my question. Again, these are just my questions, my thoughts. But I do appreciate y'all watching. I do hope that y'all subscribe for more event updates like this, news updates like this, whatever the case is. I hope y'all do subscribe. But thank you for watching. And let me know what you think in the comments.